Relationship issues. Everyone's got them. Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing tonight and last week's episode of Gotham. To be honest, last week I didn't get to see it, and then it didn't go up on my in-demand until late, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it to begin with, so I said I was going to hold off and do a two-parter tonight. This episode aired on Halloween, so happy Halloween to everyone, although as usual my review is going up a day late. Last night I was giving out candy, this morning I'm watching Gotham. Overall this season I'm really enjoying some things. Penguin and Riddler running for mayor. Even the new police captain is kinda cool, although I'm not quite sure what they're about to do with him. The Court of Owls stuff is always intriguing. But, Jarvis Tech. The Mad Hatter. Feels like just another serial killer. It's like Gotham has one note that it can just hit over and over again. The bad guy's a crazy serial killer. And the embellishment of giving him powers doesn't really help much. His hypnotism is crazy unpredictable. Sometimes it's super good, sometimes it's like they forgot he has it. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. So as far as Junior Batman League here, I have to say that there are bits and pieces that were hit or miss, but I'm still really digging the young Bruce, young Selina story. It was kind of funny to watch Bruce get stood up. Unfortunately, it's a thing I know all too well. But at the same time, I kind of feel bad for Selina. I mean, think about what she's getting into. She has no idea herself. The whole dynamic just feels so awesome. I could have watched a whole episode based on that. Unfortunately, that was the C story, maybe the D story. Because when we really get into this episode, the A story was all about Gordon and him having a nervous breakdown. I mean an acid trip. Maybe both. But put a tack in that. I want to spend the entire last half of this video talking about the dream sequence. For now, let's talk about relationships. Gordon and Vicky Vale seem to be, or Valerie Vale, sorry, seems to be on the outs, which is kind of good because, again, I wasn't too keen on this whole drama thing. And then him and Leslie going back and forth, you just know they're going to end up together by the end of the season. Although, I still am pulling for Barbara Keene. You know what? She's psycho, and she's more Harley Quinn than the character from the comic books, but it was fun. On the other side of the relationship, we have what I called 2 weeks ago as shipping, turning into a love triangle. Of course, it's kind of a weird love triangle when one of them doesn't appear to be gay, and as such, can't possibly return those feelings. But at the same time, I do not trust this woman. Not one bit. Way too coincidental. Especially when last season we had a Clayface introduced. But okay, let's talk about the part of the episode I didn't like. Well, the 2 episodes, because I didn't review last week, so we'll talk about that too. And we're going to start with the fact that, like I said at the beginning, Tech is just a weird serial killer. His revenge spree for the sister just doesn't fully just sit right with me. None of it really just jived. He did do a good job at being crazy, especially at the end with Barnes. However, part of me really feels like this entire thing was just to set up so that Barnes would go nuts and kind of introduce the idea of the acid trip for Jim. I think they were looking for someone that could do a chemical composition and they didn't want to go Scarecrow again. So they invented the Mad Hatter character. But I think they did a disservice to the concept of Mad Hatter. But either way, that's what happened. And now that he's in Blackgate, no, actually he got sent to Arkham. Now that he's in Arkham, maybe we can move on past there. The dream sequence in this one, the acid trip, reminded me of a scene in Babylon 5. Kosh in that series sent a series of dreams to Sheridan, and if you had paid attention by the end of the series, several bits of it played out. It was very prophetic. It was obviously planned well in advance. I don't know if this was done as well, but I think that maybe analyzing it is worth the effort. So let's talk about exactly what we see. We start with him and Barbara in the elevator, and Barbara's being zany like normal. Then he goes out and he sees Bruce in a mask. You don't have time. And you know what? Bruce in a mask is very, very clear. His subconscious is telling him point blank something's the matter with that kid. And the fact that Bruce has already put on a mask. Not a Batman mask, but the mask of no, everything's okay, I'm not investigating my parents' murder anymore. Then him and Penguin in a foxhole. Part of me wants to know if anyone can play that scene in reverse and see if he was talking backwards. But I think the important part of never leave your unit is more telling because it's a double meaning. First of all, his unit is obviously the police, and he's obviously in the police station. But his unit is also those people that he can trust, those people that he knows. And believe it or not, right now, Penguin is one of them. Because this mad city has some mad allies in it. But okay, on to the next. The next one is Bruce again. You're the hero you always dreamt you would be. Then he pulls the famous pearls like they were his intestines right out of him and pushes him off. What type of hero did Gordon dream he'd be? He didn't dream he'd be the superhero. He dreamt he'd be the monster because his dream is a nightmare. And that's part of this. And then back with Barbara for some zany antics and a hot nurse costume. And you know what? She even looks hot in the nun's outfit. Who am I kidding? So then she explains to him, this is all happening in your head. You're choosing all of this. And that's an important distinction because it's all about control. And then Jim goes home to two kids and Lee in a Leave It to Beaver style home where the greatest thing he needs to worry about is, can they have a dog? And you know what? That's the dream. That's what he says he wants. That's what he wants to want. But that's not the world he lives in. That's not what his dream is. When this one ends, it's because the lights are flickering and slowly he loses everything. And once again, we're back into his nightmare where nothing makes sense. But then we're back with Barbara again. And the question, do you ever wish you were the person you were before? And they both ask each other this. And you know what? It's very telling how much this series has changed. The Gordon that showed up in episode 1 and the Gordon in that elevator are nowhere near the same Gordon. Same with Barbara Keene. She gives him a key and tells him that he can use it or not. And then he's standing on a street and there's someone pulling sand out of their pocket searching. And surprise, it's his dad. At which point he can hear the doctors working on him and see the light of their flashlights, so I don't think that matters as much. But it's time for him to decide. Does he get in the car with his dad or does he go towards the light? And he gets in the car. And well, that car ride had a whole bunch of interesting things going on. The fact that his dad is proud of him. His dad mostly symbolizes in this his own internal idea of what's right and wrong. And him reminding himself of what the Gordons mean. What he wants to stand up for. Well, we breathe. We defend. And I kind of pump my fist a little, because that sounds like the James Gordon I want to see. But that sends him on the search for this ring, and when he finds it, it fully reminds him. And that brings him back to wanting to be a cop, wanting to defend Gotham, and puts him back on the route that I want him on, to become Commissioner Gordon. However, that ring has another meaning, or at least it might. Because through all of this, the Penguin met with the woman from the Court of Owls. And when she goes back, she meets with someone wearing that same ring. Is that a Court of Owls symbol? Is that a Court of Owls saying? It isn't in the comics, but we'll have to wait and see. I bet you if we fully understood that dream sequence, we'd have a better idea of what was coming in the next couple of episodes. But what did you all think of tonight's episode? Did you like it? Did you think that it was a bit too much? I'm finally glad to get rid of the Mad Hatter storyline and would like to move on. So where do you think the Mad City is going next? Do you think there's any others? Do you think we're going to see Hugo Strange again? Do you think that Fish Mooney's coming back? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. So for now, I need you to like, subscribe, and share this video so that we can grow this community, and then join me back here next time as we take a walk through the heart of the stories we tell. Thanks for watching.